Hey guys, today we're looking at a cheap budget gaming card. We're going to clean it up and give it a bit of a test, so let's get going. Today we're going to be looking at the GTX 770, which is a graphics card from Nvidia. I've been looking for a spare graphics card for an extra rig I'm building, which is going to be a streaming and for sort of video encoding for when friends come round. So I've been looking at different cards, cheap as possible really, just to see what's out there, and I've managed to pick up myself as I said, a GTX 770 for about £50, which is an absolutely cracking price considering the performance of this thing. So if we just have a quick look at just some general reviews, here's someone's YouTube video and they're comparing it directly to a GTX 960, and we can see here very comparable in that game. Again, faster than the 960. If we just skip ahead here, faster again, so just randomly skip over the place. Let's go back here. Not sure what this is, but the general consensus here is it's equal to or better than the GTX 960 at the stock speeds, and then maybe with a little bit of an overclock we might get something better out of it. So I'll start with the card and we'll take it from there basically. So this is the 2GB version. It's one I picked up off some forums, and it's by the manufacturer KFA. Sadly, this card's filled with quite a lot of years worth of dust and grime, so what we're going to do before we use it is we're going to open her up and we're going to give it a good clean, and we're also going to put some fresh thermal paste on there as well. So here is the end result. We've got a nice clean GPU die. As you can see there, the GK104, we've just spruced that up a little bit. We've got all the gunk off the fan, we've blown all the bits of dust and nastiness out, so that's good to go now. And then we've got some fresh thermal paste here as well. So what we're going to do is just apply a small amount there, and then we're going to put the heatsink and fan back on, and we're just going to wriggle it around a little bit so it distributes it nicely. And then as you can see, we've just got a nice even layer. Now it's time to start putting the card back together, so we'll just screw up the base there. Then we'll put the end on, and we're just going to screw that up a little bit as well to keep it nice and tight. Then we're going to further screw it down, and then we're just going to put the thumb screws in the end of it now as well. So after we've put all four of these in, what we're going to do is we're just going to tighten them up nicely with a pair of pliers just to make sure that that's all firm there. Right, that's us all done. The card's now back together. We're all clean and we've got some fresh thermal paste. So the next part of this will be to put this in an actual machine and get some performance results out of it really. Maybe do a little bit of overclocking and see how far we can take it, and we'll take it from there. But this should be a pretty good card for the new machine we're putting together. So before we put together our budget build, we'll be testing this in my main system, which has got an i7 running at 4.5 GHz, 32GB of memory, and one of the Asus 34-inch ultra-wide monitors. So here's the machine in the 1080 Ti. First of all, we'll get that out. As you can see, it's very similar in size to the 770, and as you can see, it's got the same power pin configurations as well. So we'll get the 770 in the machine and we'll start some testing. So here with the 770, we've got an overclock of plus 140 on the core and plus 400 on the memory, which is quite a reasonable boost, and it gave us around an extra 10 frames a second in most scenarios. So to start, we have The Witcher 3. This is running at ultra settings at 3440 by 1440 resolution, and we've got Nvidia Hairworks at 4 times. We'll use the GTX 1080 Ti as a reference here. We've got a slight overclock. We have a minimum frame rate of 58, a maximum frame rate of 76, and an average frame rate here of 65. The 770 got a minimum of 15, a maximum of 20, and an average of 18. So as you can see, it's struggling a little bit. But if we drop the resolution to 1080p, then that boosts our average up to about 45 to 50 frames a second at ultra settings, which is very playable. Next up, we've got Prey 2017, again at 3440 by 1440. This is running at maximum settings with no anti-aliasing turned on. And the GTX 1080 Ti gets a minimum frame rate of 88, a maximum frame rate of 100, and an average frame rate of 98. Meanwhile, the 770 gets a minimum of 22, a maximum of 39, and an average of 28. Dropping down the resolution to 1080p at the same settings gives us, again, a solid 60 plus FPS in this game. So 1080p is probably a much better target frame rate for the 770. So last test today is BioShock Infinite. This is running at the same resolution at absolutely maximum settings, And the GTX 1080 Ti comes in at a minimum of 140 frames a second, a maximum of 200 and an average of 170. Meanwhile, the 770 delivers a minimum of 46, a maximum of 64 and an average of 55. So in this slightly older title, it's absolutely perfectly playable at maximum settings at these resolutions. So what we're seeing is the 770 can deliver over 60 frames a second at 1080p at near maximum or maximum settings in most of the games we've tested today. So second hand, £50, this is a bargain. Anything comparable is going to cost us £140 upwards. So there we have it. Just a quick overview of the GTX 770 compared to, a somewhat ridiculous card. When we finish this build in the future, we'll be able to get it into a real comparison. I'll try and get a GTX 1050 or GTX 1050 Ti to compare it to, and we'll have something a little bit more reasonable then. But hopefully this gives you some sort of idea of what a 770 is capable of and what you can expect out of a machine of this sort of calibre, really.
Ray, beard gone. Right. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and any feedback or any comments, post them below. Hopefully get more videos out in the future, and cheers for watching.